me, we're not dealing with two issues. This NDC matter,
yes,
the press conference,
right,
and the issues arising from it. And then there's the more substantive issue that is still outstanding, the status of the concession.
That's right.
Relative to the suspension that the government issued some time ago.
Right.
For me, I will deal with the latter matter.
Okay.
But I think Ghanaians should be concerned about that situation. What is the way forward? What has government been doing? All these things will be resolved if that substantive matter is tackled. For me.
The sector minister doesn't seem to suggest that they have reached a decision as to what has to happen.
I understand him. I know why he's...
aren't you disappointed? Because the expectation was that on the 30th day, he would have been active, because this is very sensitive.
Those are legitimate questions to raise. I'm sure you've seen the government report, their report, the reports based on the committee, the delegation that the Minister of Interior.
We read portions of it here.
And it's more or less an indictment of the process, and for that matter, the PDS whole concession.
Right.
Am I right?
You're right.
But since then, why the report has not been publicized, released officially by government? There are negotiations going on, we also, including with Americans. I'm constrained relative to what I want to say, but I know that Americans are resisting Ghana government's position, which is cancel, terminate PDS. The controversy is clear, the problem is clear, the debate is over. Everybody was waiting for what the solution is, at least government's position. It's true, admittedly, not publishing even that report is a problematic matter, but it has happened because of the ongoing negotiations between the Ghana government, all those involved, and especially the MCC. They represent the American side of it. You know the nature of the compact. I don't need to go back to all those things. Linked to this compact is something they call regional compact. I don't know whether you are aware. If you put all the monies together, we are talking here of some $2 billion investment matters in the power energy side. Now, my reading of the situation is the Ghana government, as we speak, wants the PDS team terminated. That is the primary position of the Ghana government. The Americans, in this case I mean the MCC, for that matter, and those who support them like the IFC and the World Bank and the rest, do not want an outright termination. They are suggesting that if we terminate, we cannot even do a re-tendering. It's part of the Ghanaian government saying restrictive tendering of a sort and we'll move forward quickly. They are against it, and it's documented. Everything I'm saying here is documented. They've negotiated and come to a certain compromise. The compromise, if it's done, I'm aware the Americans have signed. The Ghanaian government is not signing yet. Would lead to more or less a dilution of some of the shareholding structure, but bring in institutional representation. SMIT, GIF, that is Ghana Investment Fund, and other institutions. That will lead to a dilution, obviously. The Ghanaian government originally wants them totally out. The Americans are saying no. And this is documented. If they are listening and watching, they know what I'm saying is true. That, for me, is where the focus is. And this is the second time speaking on this PDS matter. The first was on Metro TV. After seeing some of those confidential documentations and things, I came to the conclusion firmly that the executive, that's the government of the day, should engage the minority. It could be within the framework of Parliament, the Parliamentary Subcommittee on Mines and Energy and Finance, the Joint Committee that dealt with all these things still. It got to its culmination. or it could be even bringing in the main leadership of the opposition NDC. Because look, we need to take a national approach on this matter. This government is resisting external dictate and influence on how to go forward with the PDS.
Will it succeed? Because they are the one bringing you the $500 million for this project.
The government is walking a tightrope. But you can succeed if you mobilize a national consensus behind you. Proper understanding, and that's why I made a point that they should engage constructively.
Where you suggest that there may even not be the opportunity of a renegotiation or retendering of the process, don't you think that they will throw in the clause that suggests that you are already running out of time, and if you had not done this, the money would not have come?
That's what they have done. They're saying all those things. You are damn right. They are saying all those things. That's why they said, look, the option of retendering, whether restrictive or, is out.
So that if this fails, we take our money.
Yes, they
nothing
said
has happened.
No compact. It dies. The regional compact too cancelled.
Really?
Yes, and these are documented.
Quick.
Okay. Wait, Kobe.
Sorry.
Wait. Just note that particular point.
Okay,
yes.
So that's where we are. You solve this, getting the nation behind you. Whatever the errors of judgment and things that occurred previous, we need a way forward. We need to solve the matter. And that's my position. But you see, that's the substantive thing. But you know, that's not what we are discussing. It's the subject matter.
But let's conclude this. Obviously, this is going to be protracted. And so the hint you are giving us is that we should not be expecting government communication on a decision taking anytime soon. Because,
well, I cannot give an answer directly to that as to the timing of government decision making. But I'm aware that there's a stalemate. And it's because the Ghanaian government is actually not happy with even the compromise that has been put in place. There's a compromise. I've seen the Americans, they have signed theirs. The Ghanaian government has refused to sign. This should have happened yesterday. And it didn't happen. Because the Ghanaian government thinks that, look here, what we found out as irregular or fraudulent
material breach,
yes, must inform the decision to terminate.
Right.
Or even if not terminate, remove certain characters from it or dilute their share. And that is the dilution then comes with the institutional representation, which are Ghanaian. The American's view is that
hold on, let's listen to that.
The American view is that, look, institutional representation means, this doesn't mean, it's not synonymous with private sector participation.
So the letter that came the individuals will phase out. That will mean that the opposition or the critics may not have an issue to raise any longer, because their major issue has been that you are simply taking our asset and giving it to your people, your party people, individuals.
Well, you see what? That one was a myth. Take it from me. But you see, politics and propaganda is allowed. Can't say anything. It's hard facts and actions that prove whether indeed that myth has any value. It's a myth. Even the individuals in here now, at the present, that structure, none of them is government sponsored. And that's why they are suffering now. After the detection of the irregularities and fraud. They're not sponsored by the regime administration. Take it from me. Same way, that's why some of them are resisting this process. They are resisting it. They don't think it's in their interest. Because of course, either they are totally ejected from the scene or their shares are diluted. Either way, they think it's not fair to them.
But
and some are even contemplating.
Even the investigations will show and suggest, rather difficult to controvert.
Look, one of them has even written
that they had the support of whoever matters. Otherwise, we will not have tolerated them the many times they failed to do the necessary things to be able to get the contract.
You need to read more.
And where money appeared to have been shifted from, you say you are bringing in some amount of money, and then you pick
Samson,
you pick money as they showed. You pick money from
Samson,
the entity you are coming to take over from, and then turn back to say you are paying it as your share or your.
I'm not for one moment underestimating the value of the point you are making. I won't do that. It's all part of the problem where we are, the challenge we are confronted with. But I say that we've moved beyond that.
And you said one of them has written that.
Indeed, one of the Ghanaian shareholders has even written to the effect that he wants to pull out. Some time ago, I won't mention the name for now, but it's there, okay? And for that matter, what I hear from the grapevine is that the foreign group, is it Meralco?
Yeah.
Yes, trying to buy them out. That's the suspicion. The Ghana government is not interested in any of those things.
Meralco is also reported in the Philippines.
No, but you see, Meralco,
by major national,
I thought, I was going to deal with that issue when we deal with this NDC letter.
It's contemplating getting out.
So please, whilst what I've dealt with is not, for me, my understanding was not the subject matter. But I think that's where the focus should be for the nation.
Yeah.
The NDC held a press conference and they produced this letter.
Right.
See, this letter is problematic. There's no corporate address. There's no letterhead. They didn't copy their partners, that is the other partners in the concession. You know, the letter was misdirected to a wrong destination. It shouldn't have gone to MEDA. It should have gone to at least the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Energy, or the Energy Commission. So this letter is problematic, but it is factual. It's authentic. That's the interesting observation. Oh, it is. It is.
The content.
Yeah, the content. That's what I mean.
The letter is not. This letter.
Well, you are the lawyer, so maybe I should take education from you. What I mean is that the contents are factual. They represent truly the views of the signatories, who are themselves part of the concession.
Meridian Power Ventures Limited and Energy.
Yes, they are. The Energy, I suspect, is typo. I believe
NDC thinks this is not a typo.
No, they can check.
And that,
see,
it's supposed to be Energia, and now it ends with GY, and they believe that this is
look,
this is serious.
I won't waste too much intellectual
some entity
energy.
is being replaced clandestinely.
Where is the replacement? First of all, I said, see, have you seen the shareholding structure of this concession?
The structure as it is now, yes.
Yes. Which names are there?
Okay. Let me go bring up.
Otherwise,
the shareholders.
Okay. Yeah. You open your.
This is a shareholder agreement.
Yes. Yes, that's what I mean.
Not the structure.
No, I said the shareholders agreement.
Okay. So.
Do you have the agreement? Shareholders agreement. Oh, this is a new shareholder agreement which has been done.
Okay. Yeah.
So something is looking through the wrong document. That's what I'm doing.
No. We know. We have dealt with this matter here. So please.
See, but
yeah.
It's
we have dealt with, and we know each of the parties that have been involved.
Yes, this shareholders agreement
here, and I'm just looking for.
It's entered
go
into
go ahead.
This day, 31st day of January 2019.
Okay.
And the people here are Meridian Power Ventures.
Correct.
Am I right?
That's correct.
TG Energy Solutions.
That's correct.
But of significance is the Meridian Power Ventures. I'm not sure I should go through the whole thing. But what it means is that it is not this letter that is bringing the name Meridian Ventures, Power Ventures, to the fore in the first place.
Okay.
Official records and documentation. Any diligent research will point to the fact that Meridian Power Ventures Limited is listed as a shareholder. And then there is this parliamentary document that is, it wasn't part of what was submitted to Parliament. It appears it was a briefing that was given to the parliamentary subcommittees on mines and energy and finance. My own checks, and this was held at the Moving Peak Hotel on July 11th.
So as constituted
2018.
as we knew it, Meridian Power Ventures Limited 30%, and then Energia SA 19%. Then you have the 3 Ghanaian firms, TG Energy Solutions 18%, GTS Engineering Ghana Limited 10%, and TBK Ghana Limited 10%.
Yeah. So Meridian, the point I'm making is that Meridian Ventures already documented in official records. This, I'm not justifying whatever they did. I'm just saying that for the first time, it was documented in official records.
Okay.
It is not the NDC press conference. Maybe they didn't know, and they were right to question and raise the issue. But official records, before the transaction closed, and they were to submit their registration documents and things, all these things were required of them. And it came up that Merako was sponsoring Meridian Ventures as a special purpose vehicle for them to take part in this transaction. Merako owns Meridian Power Ventures 100%. This document, which is dated 11 July 2018.
The shareholding structure.
Yes,
Okay.
then the shareholding structure is here. This was a brief to the committee, a joint committee. And I have to be very honest with you, my checks show that it is not all the members of the committee that were present. I've asked, and because I want to be very diligent and fair, I've asked for the list of the attendees. But this happened July 11th, 2018. Parliament approved the transaction, I think July 24th, 2018. The memo and committee's report are dated, I think, July 14th. The committee's report is dated July 14th. The memo was signed by Abuasha Ajako on his part, July 3rd.
Right.
Kenofurata signed his July 4th. Now, I've checked the Hansard. I don't see anywhere in the deliberations anybody contesting the idea that Manila Electric Company, nationality Filipino, its SPV name is Meridian Power Ventures, place of registration Hong Kong, number of shares 600,000, 30%. I'm not a lawyer, and that's where the legal minds can come and debate. As far as I'm concerned, I've heard people suggest that this approach insulates Merako from any liability in case there's any problem, and that it is Merako's financial and technical capability that ensured that they got a 30% or became part of the concession. With my uneducated perspective, I was asking, truly, can Merako distance itself from Meridian Ventures? It owns it 100%. Its technical and financial capability, I thought, within the context of this transaction, obviously, is what is backing Meridian. So I've been asking, have they really offloaded their shares to Meridian? Or Meridian is representing Merako here as a special purpose vehicle? This one is lawyers. I'm being very honest that it is an uneducated understanding.
Okay.
Perhaps I could be helped by you good lawyers here.
So your point clearly is that whilst the NDC's letter, the letter that the NDC intercepted and showed all of us, may contain, maybe authentic,
it is.
It is misdirected, and
not the NDC misdirecting
yes,
it. Yes,
those who authored it.
Yes, and the purpose, they were talking of suspension of the PDS concession. Of course, it's an issue.
Right.
The government still maintains the suspension.
All right.
No.
Okay.
Then resolution of the issue on the demand guarantee is still part of the negotiations going on.
Thank you.